Good evening and welcome to Breaking Views on NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. Ladies and gentlemen, another television ad, and now we are so used to this. Let me just play out some visuals of that ad. This woman with her face colored, apparently from Holi colors, has created a huge tension or outrage, online outrage. And why it has done so? Let me just tell you this story, because some very fundamental, serious questions are being raised on back of this very ad. Though this is not the first which has earned the ire of the angry Twitter army. Let's just try and understand more about this entire issue. An advertisement, the one that you saw right now, where a woman is being shown washing off colors from her face. As the colors start to come off, there appears to be bruises on her face. And then a caption comes in which reads, "Some colors don't wash away easily." Well, this is an advertisement by matrimony site Bharat Matrimony, which has now come under severe fire for hurting Hindu sentiments. And calls of the usual bruised sentiment Twitter activists went in an overdrive with their calls of boycott. Now, this advertisement was released on Holi, which is March 8th, which is also, incidentally, International Women's Day. I just want to play out just 10 seconds of this ad, and then we'll talk further about it. Just take a look at this. So the whole idea behind this advertisement seems to be to highlight the trauma and violence faced by women. While some blame the Bharat Matrimony advertisement was targeting the Hindu community, there have been few others who have supported this video for taking up this important cause. Now, this 75-second video, which was tweeted earlier, so there is a before and after as far as the ad is also concerned. We'll play that out for you. Take a look at these pictures which you are seeing on your screens. I'll tell you the difference in them. Initially, this was tweeted with a caption, "A lot of women have stopped playing Holi due to the trauma they have experienced through harassment. Watch this video that brings this to life in a hard-hitting way. This Holi, let's celebrate Women's Day and choose to keep them safe every day. Hashtag be choosy, hashtag Holi 2023, hashtag Women's Day, etc., etc." Then, after the outrage on social media, it was deleted and retweeted by Bharat Matrimony, which said, "This Women's Day and Holi, let's celebrate by creating safer and more inclusive spaces for women. It's important to acknowledge the challenges that women face in public spaces and create a society that truly respects their well-being. Today and forever." Nothing wrong. I didn't find anything wrong in that, but that's personally me. And people, those who are not liking it, are well within their rights not to like it. The Twitter was furious, as we've seen before. Sample some of the outrage that was poured out on Twitter. Somebody on Twitter said, "No matter how many times you delete and repost, it will not change anything. Hindus will teach you a proper lesson." Some other chap named as Hitesh Prajapat 7, in fact, went on to Twitter, "Holi wishes Hindu-phobic and creating wrong, false narrative to target Hindu festival, which brings joy and happiness." Somebody else also went on with his disappointment, saying, "It's disappointing to see you are equating our festivals with harassment. Let's just boycott Bharat Matrimony." No ifs, no buts, was another Twitter user. There are some, after this vicious online campaign was launched on social media, there were some who came out in support as well. Few of them tweeted in support of Bharat Matrimony. They also, like the one that you're seeing right now on your screens, that I do not think anyone else would have dared to do this. This is spot on, very sensitively done. This is some, Twitter support that this ad was getting. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a vicious online campaign launched on social media against the companies, which eventually leads to them succumbing to the pressure, withdrawing their ad, this is not a new game. Take a look at few other ads which face a similar kind of outrage, especially being called anti-Hindu. And then, a lot of people, the companies had to retract their ads. The Bharat Matrimony ad is just the latest one. Before that, there have been others as well. Like you remember, Sabyasachi's the Mangalsutra, luxury Mangalsutra ad. This was also termed anti-Hindu. People did not like it. There was a lot of outrage. Fab India came out with a Diwali ad called Collection Jashn-e-Riwaz. Jashn-e-Riwaz was something which was found unacceptable to few, saying that it is a Hindu festival. Why is Urdu being used in it? This also created a lot of outrage. Dabur same-sex partners ad for Karwa Chauth drew ire. You are only targeting Hindu, in fact, religion and Hindu festivals to put out these so-called progressive messages. Manevar's ad questioning Kanyadan also came under the same kind of attack. Hamara religion khatre mein hai, our sentiments are being heard, our rituals are being targeted, was the usual line. So this is not the first time. Tanishq jewelry ad showing interfaith marriage, Godh Bharai ceremony with a couple where a family, the bride is Hindu, the family is Muslim. That also got a lot of flack. Surf Excel Holi ad also was targeted by saying, why are you dragging our religious festivals into this whole narrative? Now, the question, ladies and gentlemen, that we are asking right now is, are these just manufactured protests? Like these protests which are covering up the reality? Is the abuse against women not a reality in this country? Or are the creators of this advertisement have to be more sensitive? Is there some way, some underlying thought about targeting one religion for popularity? Is there an anti-Hindu mindset, or the boycott gang is too sensitive to rake up these issues but terming them anti-religion? And importantly, who decides what is anti-religion against any religion, Hindu, Islam, anything? And should the companies buckle under pressure? Don't they give them, show the way for such harassment online, for other ads, for other creativity as well? Joining me to discuss this on Breaking Views, to share their informed opinion and views, Mr. Dilip Cherian. He's founder and consulting partner, Perfect Relations, Image Guru, needs no introduction. We also have Deepa Rahul Ashwar, activist, author, who is joining us this moment. We also have Brinda Adige, social and women activist. We are also being joined by Akriti Bhatia, sociologist and activist. I thank all of you for giving us the time. I want to start by asking you, Deepa, I know that there is some problem with your line, but if you can hear me, Deepa, what enraged you in this ad? Just that the woman was washing off holy colors, or was the message also of underlying trauma or the violence that she possibly might have faced, that was also insulting?
No, I think, first of all, my apologies. There is a power outage issue here, so I'm not able to, my video won't work. So, yes, about this ad, I think I want to just ask everyone who hears this or who's listening to us right now, the statistics of the number of women who are being harassed or being raped in India is in the lines of, if I remember right, it's a woman is being raped every 20 minutes. Is it because of Holi? Is it because of, the festival of colors that women are being harassed? So isn't there women harassment? Aren't women being raped if there is during the time of Christmas, during the time of other celebrations? Right? Forget the religious festivals. There are corporate parties, there are, office parties from, the corporates, etc., where there are sexual harassment happening against women. What does it have to do anything with Holi at all? So this is very insensitive. And the makers...
Deepa, may I ask you just add one more thing? I mean, like you're saying, you're right. With the kind of statistic that we see in India, forget festival, forget days, it seems like a 365-day occupation for certain people to harass women in different ways, rape among them, harassing women in various forms as well. Crime against women is a serious issue. But may I also ask you, are we oblivious to the fact that you're talking about certain festivals. On Holi, there are certain people who take extra liberty. And I will give you an example. Colleges in Delhi have put up notices outside girls' hostel not to venture out because it could be unsafe. Are these colleges in any way also targeting women?
No, is it only for, my question is this only applicable for Holi? That's my question. And, colleges or institutions taking their, they taking responsibility for their students and putting out such notices is a different thing.
Okay.
Ad campaigns where it goes out as part of their branding should not be used in such an irresponsible way. Because the example that you set is for a college and institution. So there are responsible...
So ma'am, but what I wanted to underline was that there are these apprehensions that on Holi women could be, there could be some people taking extra liberty, freedom in the name of Holi, and that is why this warning was put out. Let me very quickly, like you said, that ads should not be used to propagate these kind of narratives. Let me get in Dilip Cherian on this before I go to my other guest. Mr. Cherian, I can still see that you're completely not washed off the Holi colors. You played, for a very long time, it seems. But, sir, should people read motive, or should creative people or ad makers, filmmakers be more wary of these sentiments which are these days being overtly hurt, one ad or the other?
The fact is that this year, Holi happened to coincide with International Women's Day. So there was a real reason why this kind of ad, which sought to combine two kinds of messaging, actually came out. So that's one. It's got nothing to do with insulting a religion. The second thing is that ads have become a soft underbelly for targeting for anyone who is seeking attention. And that is a very sad thing, because it is beginning to cramp creativity in many ways. And we can get into that later, because this program is about advertising and the impact that ad boycotts of this kind have. The third thing is perhaps the most important thing.
Yes.
That companies buckle because they have no idea about what their consumers or customers are actually being affected by. In fact, most such controversies we have found statistically, in the case of Tanish, in the case of multiple things, has had absolutely no impact on their branding after the controversy or before the controversy. So these are the 3 points that we need to take into account.
Right.
And as I said, the coincidence of the two festivals is why a lot of clever, creative effort went into trying to combine the two messages.
Okay. Let me go across to Brinda, on this. Brinda Arige, are we somehow trying to, as you heard Deepa Ashwar saying that this kind of messaging using Hindu festivals, is this, in your view, some sort of a conspiracy, or are we trying to, put colors on, as this ad was trying to uncolor, or when the colors came off, it showed how the women, in fact, she was harassed, or some colors don't come off, the bruises on her face. Are we trying to put all those statistics and the way women are harassed in multiple ways under the carpet or behind the colors using this?
You're absolutely right. This ad just went on to show the myriad ways in which women are harassed. And all of those colors represent that. Trying to malign a religion or trying to, put down a religion. I think this is just people wanting to make a, mountain out of a molehill. There is a very strong message, like Mr. Cherian said. Holi and Women's Day happen to be on the same day. And there is a strong message that is coming across saying that Holi are also days. We have seen, earlier it was not there in South India. But now, over the last 5, 8, 9 years, this has become very, very strong, where there is harassment, not only to women, but also to men. But women, it is more. There is an excuse that is found that might be socially sanctioned on the day of Holi. And, people will say, he was only trying to put Holi on you. He was only trying to do. But there are many cases of particular sexual harassment that women have complained about. So I think people who are trying to boycott this advertisement or say that Hindu religion is being shown in bad light must grow up.
Okay.
This is the concerns of women across our nation.
Okay.
To say that no more of colors. We are out
Okay.
there
Akriti
to
Bhatia,
tell you
if I
that
may
this is
bring you
something
in.
that we suffer.
If I may bring you in, like Brinda and Mr. Charan was saying that it was because both of the days coincided, but by using possibly Holi to put out such an important message, is there somewhere is it how it has been now counterproductive? Because most people are only seeing it as an insult to the festival or to one religion, not the underlying important message that it is trying to impart.
So Ankit, I feel that the hashtags being used are wrong. Instead of talking about boycott Holi, which is outrageous, or boycott even Bharat Matrimony, it should be boycott domestic violence. That's the message that anyone should take from it. And if you talk about harassment and violence against women, it is a reality across religions, across social groups, even across countries. It's the men who need to be taught across spaces and contexts. The National Family Health Survey has recently also validated that 1 out of 3 women face domestic violence. And in terms of festivals, I think they're beautiful, blaming festivals, because those are actually spaces and times of gender inclusivity where women get a chance to participate as equals.
Okay.
But for so many small towns and all, there, Holi is also a festival where women actually step out. So it's also a very wrong, it's a wrong perception.
Right.
That, and I think the first tweet that Bharat Matrimony tweeted that it is prohibiting or preventing women to step out and celebrate Holi, I think that is a problem. The problem is domestic violence. The problem is harassment against women,
right,
which is a reality. And you cannot be talking about one religion. It's across religions. In fact, we know how other religions are also very problematic for when it comes to gender. So I think the
the caption of the tweet could have been the problem in the beginning. But Dr. Geeta Bhatt, what's wrong? If they're trying to give out a message, they are not saying, at least the message does not seem to be suggesting that she's been beaten up on Holi. They're only saying that when she's washing off the Holi colors, there are still some colors that are left on her face that are bruises. Isn't that the more important underlying message rather than creating and twisting it around saying Hindutva khatre mein hai?
Well, Ankit ji, there are in advertisement, in symbolically there are various tacit messages that are given. And in this particular advertisement, you see, yes, it was International Women's Day, which coincided with the festival of Holi. Now, festival of Holi is, we remember and we celebrate it as a festival of colors, a festival of forgiveness, where people, they forget any old differences and come together. But trying to symbolize, because you see, advertising agencies, one point that I want to bring forth is, there is one way of doing positive advertisement and one way is of doing a negative advertisement. Now, the message that is being conveyed over here, you are trying to, correlate one of the most important festivals of Hindus, of this country,
yes,
to the women who are being abused. Yes, this also is an issue which needs to be discussed, which is a pertinent issue.
Okay.
But is it that this issue is something which is happening to almost all the women in the country? There are exceptions.
Yes.
But this is representing as if every second woman in this country, in the household, is getting beaten up. And it is, a very sad.
Mr. Charan, you were talking about the impact of such boycott calls that is, or possibly already is, or may happen, or may take place on the advertising industry. So, as somebody who works in the industry, tomorrow, if you have to create an ad, would you be wary of what festival, what occasion, what religion, the names of the characters, the portrayal of those characters? Does it now, even before you sit with your first draft, all those considerations will start creeping into your mind?
Certainly, that is really my anxiety, Ankit. The fact is that India is a highly creative country. We have a fabulous ability to mix ads up, to get festivals in, and to take special days into account, all of that. Some of that is being curbed. Not only as somebody who is in the creative business, I recognize that everybody now is constantly walking on eggs, which is not a good way to walk. That's one. The second thing is that as somebody who's been on the Advertising Standards Council, I do know that ads always go through a process of scrutiny, especially if there are complaints. Now, as far as this is concerned, let me tell you that according to all the rules of the advertising industry, and it is a self-regulatory body,
Yes.
this does not violate that. So I think trying to threaten a company is quite an easy thing to do.
Super.
But is that the right thing? And are we being too sensitive? That's my anxiety.
Super censoring. Deepa Ishwar, thanks for coming on video right now. Deepa, but super censoring. Who decides, what goes and whose sentiment is heard? It's not that there has been some sampling being done where people have gone onto the streets, are in outrage. Look, this ad is hurting our sentiments. Be it the other ads that we have seen before. What is this whole business of being so sensitive about ads? Being a majority, we act with a minority complex. Everything that comes out, oh, look, they are targeting us.
No. Don't tell me that, because see, there is so much being spoken about on this panel about creativity. It honestly makes me laugh to think that there are so many, advocates of creativity when it comes to Hindu ads. I would like to recall any ad where about Christianity or about, and God forbid it never happens to any of them as well. I don't want such a thing to happen to any religion, but I would really like to recollect at least one incident where there has been an ad about a Muslim festival where such a thing has happened. Now, don't tell me that none of this happens during a Muslim festival, okay? Now, harassment is irrespective of religions, irrespective of festivals, but then why Holi? So this is a question everyone conveniently avoids in the pretext of being creative. Now, it is during Holi, it is, when you portray Kanyadan, that this creativity comes out. It never pops out. This sort of creativity doesn't pop out for any other religion. So
But
this
why
is what
should it not come out? Kanyadan is a regressive practice. If somebody likes you, have the right to, speak in favor.
Why-
People have the right to, in fact, speak
Why-
against it. What's the problem?
And why do you unleash these rights only for Hindu festivals? Now, to answer your question, you were asking me, who draws this line? And where is this, who decides what to go out and what is this whole protest about? I think none of us have the right, because when our Durga Ma was, shown in the wrong light, we still protested, but nothing happened. It's like
I don't understand the wrong light. Christians, every time I've seen some ad, some movie, they are, being shown as cross-wearing, drinking people. They have not gone on to the streets protesting about it. So are we being oversensitive?
about
And Brinda
drinking.
DK, there is one point that I want
it's not
I
about
want you to
drinking,
come in on.
Ankit.
This
It's
is
not, you're
why,
comparing
like
apples
Deepa is
to
saying,
oranges.
Deepa, I'm just
Trivialization.
furthering. Deepa, I'm just furthering what you were saying. Like Deepa is saying, how many ads of this nature would you see, let's say, on Eid or on Christmas?
None.
There has to be context. Now, if there is no context, what is the advertisement creativity over there? Now, the context over here is the ways that we cover it up, the ways that the society wants us to cover up something. Now, it happened that this is March 8th and also Holi. So the woman came out, washes her face and says that she's a victim of domestic violence.
Yes.
And let us also pinpoint over here, the ad only showed about domestic violence, but Holi is also a day when there is sexual harassment that happens, where there is a socially sanctioned space on that day.
Dilip Cherian, is this scary for a creative ad man that there is this power now which people have realized and are wielding to decide? They are super censors. They will decide what the ad should be and how it should come out. What is the creative limit that you have? Otherwise, there will be a cost attached. There will be boycott calls.
Can I please add something?
As somebody who has watched with a great deal of amusement and excitement a completely hysterically violent attack on Christianity called Jesus Christ Superstar, I can assure you that creativity is unleashed in the countries where that religion is the majority. So you will not find an ad, shall I say, mocking or making fun of Christianity in in India, but because there will not be enough people to buy it. In America and in the UK, it was a hot selling ticket. So there is no shortage of creativity which lampoons religions which are the majority in that country. Should that happen? I'm not saying it should or not. The point is, it is about creativity.
Okay, 10 seconds to you, Geeta Bhatt, 10 seconds to you, Ms. Ashwar. I can give you 10 seconds to wrap up, all of you, and also to Akriti.
Right.
Quickly, start. Ms. Bhatt, start.
Yeah, first thing is that regarding Jesus Christ Superstar, Mr. Ali Padamsi had tried to play it, in Mumbai, but at that time, the church had protested and he had to actually change the script and first show it to the church officials before he could actually go ahead with its commercial, broadcasting. That is just to counter what Mr. Cherian has just mentioned. Secondly, also to put forward, 8th of March was also Shab-e-Barat.
Right.
It is also Shab-e-Barat, but do we see that any of the advertisers have come out?
But that's what Dilip Cherian said. It's a game of volume. Akriti, last 10 seconds to you, quickly.
And see, one last point, Ankit, I want to...
Ma'am, I'm completely out of time. Won't be able to. Yeah, go ahead.
Selective targeting and selective outrage. Both the things are extremely problematic. Here, the debate should have not been about creativity or religion, but about domestic abuse and violence against women. It's as simple as that.
That's the important point, and that's the underlying message as far as this ad is concerned. I'm completely out of time. I thank all of you for sharing your views on the broadcast, and thank you for joining us here. Ladies and gentlemen, in the end, acceptance and being more tolerant towards each other, that's the kind of society that possibly, at least on the books, that we have envisaged. Are we moving further away from it? I leave it for you to decide. That's all the time that we have on this edition. News and updates continue on NDTV. Thank you so much. Good night.